Anyway, there was some of the points I talked about. I would invite now into this interesting conversation if Usman Zulfiqar Ali is with us. I would like to give him the floor. Usman Zulfiqar, are you with us? If you're listening, the floor is yours. And if you're not with us today, we would be moving straight to our next panelist, Mr. Zamir Assadi. Mr. Zamir Assadi is with us. He's an award-winning journalist and my good friend. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Shamsab. So the topic today is very interesting, and our leading expert, the analyst, have very beautifully explained, very comprehensively talked about um, the development of the CPEC. Either it was about the phase one or the future of the CPEC, the prospects of the CPEC in the coming decade. So I would just like to make a comment that as always, as I have written a lot about the development of the CPAC in the last 10 years with the Pakistani and the Chinese media, and while working in the China as a journalist, I have felt that you know there are 6 corridors under Belt and Road Initiative that are attracting the investment, the huge investment from China. But luckily, CPAC is a kind of a mega initiative that is shining as a rising star at the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative and the 10th anniversary of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Why I am quoting it like a shining mega project rising as a sun? Because as compared to the other mega initiatives under BRI, it has shown some magnificent results. The outcomes are great, and the productivity is really remarkable. If we only talk about the financial investment under this package, we all know that more than $25 billion have been invested by China under this initiative in Pakistan. That was a great help by a friendly and a brotherly country of Pakistan, that is China, done a great job to the brotherly country, and helped in overcoming the inefficiencies, the financial inefficiencies, and as far as our you can say the inefficiency of our capacity is concerned. So wherever it is like we are quoting $25 billion, then more than like 250,000 jobs are there. $1.5 billion tax is collected. We have seen the Gwadar port is being built. Gwadar International Airport is there. Vocational training centers are there, and the exchanges of students and the journalists is there. Exchange of the experts is there, and the number is rising after the opening of the COVID-19. In this year, we have seen huge delegations from Pakistan. They are visiting China, and in the same way, the Chinese delegations, they are visiting by Pakistan, and a lot of interaction is being witnessed. We in Islamabad, we see in every other week, we welcome the Chinese delegation. Either it is about academia, either it is about the media, or it is about their Chinese business community, or from different sectors. So I think the good thing about CPEC for Pakistan is that we are welcoming, and we are attracting the skillful minds, and those minds who have changed the overall economic landscape of China. Those minds are coming to Pakistan, who have built China as the second largest economy of the world. Those minds are coming to Pakistan from China, who have built China as a power of a cyberspace. Those minds are coming to Pakistan from China, who have built Pakistan, China as a hub of the e-commerce. So I think Pakistan is in every aspect is a lucky country that we are inviting and we are welcoming those genius minds from China who have done a great job for the development of their country, who have done a great job for transforming China into an economic power, that has forced Americans and the Europeans and the other, competitors to change their economic policies if they want to compete China in this competitive world. So those minds are coming to Pakistan who have done such a great job for China that the economy of China is dominating across the globe. The exports of China are dominating across the globe. So I think Pakistan, being a very brotherly and friendly country, is a very lucky country that China is at our doorstep, and we can get much and much benefits from those Chinese minds, and it depends on us. I will again say that it depends on us that what we can learn while working in collaboration with these Chinese minds. I think we should have to understand we are a lucky country that China is at our doorstep. China is our neighboring country. China is helping to more than 150 countries under BRI across the globe that are located in different regions of the world, far flung regions of the world. They don't have any land connection with China, they don't have any sea connection with China, but China is helping them. And we have every kind of connection with China, we have a trust with China, we have a good cultural understanding with China, our culturals are exchanges are good. So I think we do not have any kind of geopolitical competition with China. China doesn't have any kind of geopolitical rivalry with Pakistan. So I think we have a good field of working with China. So I think in the coming era, in the coming decade of the CPEC, Pakistan, the only need of the time is that Pakistan should have to focus on these things which I have discussed, that what is the need of Pakistan. Either it is about the e-commerce development, either it is about the technological development. Mr. Shams was with me. We were sitting in the Chinese embassy. We were attending one of the lecture by a senior Chinese scholar, came from China. He delivered a very good briefing. He talked about, Mr. Shams will be remembering that Pakistan is far behind. It is an era of the big data. The countries those are generating data, they are dominating the international landscape, and Pakistan is nowhere in generating the big data or the data. So Pakistan, I think the Chinese scholars, he was talking from his heart. He was feeling that he shared a story that in back in 1980s, at the early 80s or 70s maybe, when he first time flew out of China. He was flying from Beijing to Munich, I think. He mentioned there, and he mentioned the importance of Pakistan, that he flew from Beijing and he got the connected from flight from Karachi. You just imagine the significance and the importance of Pakistan back in 70s and 80s that we have lost. That if you are flying from Beijing and you are planning to go to any of the European nation, you have to come to Karachi. You have to, connect your flight from Karachi to Europe. So it was the potential of Pakistan, and we have lost that. So there are many other examples that I can quote here, quoted by that Chinese scholar. I just came to my mind. I think Pakistan have a huge potential. We can again, gain that importance in our international landscape. But the need of the time is that whatever these mega initiatives from China are coming, we should have to utilize. We should have to utilize our potential. We should have to explore the developmental. We should have to explore our developmental. You can say the capacity that what we can do. China is there to help us without any kind of political conditions, without any kind of, you can say, the doom or mantra that we have always been getting from Americans or the Western back in so-called war on terror. So I think China is a sincere friend. We do not have any kind of, I think China knows us, we know China. Mr. Shams have visited China, spent a very good time. I have visited China more than 10 times. I have studied in Renmin University. I worked there. You see, you everywhere you move in China, you receive warm welcome, and you do not feel that they are the people who are in competition with you. Chinese are our like our brothers. So I think we should I think utilize this facility that the CPAC is providing to us. So this was my point that I mentioned here. So best of luck to the Youth Diplomacy Forum for arranging such kind of debates and inviting us again and again to interact with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zamir Assadi Saab. Just as CPEC is becoming the rising star, Mr. Zamir Assadi is also becoming the rising star in the new era, I would say.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for
With your sport,
your
with your sport always.
yeah, sure. Is was having a very valuable and interesting remarks and making this conversation and bringing it to the new heights, I would say. And he also reiterated the fact that it's about time that we should be looking at how we can evolve a knowledge-based economy. And just as a Professor Victor Gao, I remember the name, we had that interesting lecture in the Chinese embassy. Me and Zamir Assadi Saab was there, and he was talking about that it's perhaps the time of data science and innovation, and because data would become the new currency, or it would become the replace oil, because data. So he said that Pakistan should look into these arenas and these fields as well. So it would all be possible if we invest in our human capital, and significantly and focusedly. If we invest in our human capital, only then we can turn it into knowledge-based economy. I already shared the example of Singapore, how they have done it, how India is even doing it. And I was seeing a post that 30 of the CEOs of the top companies, Fortune 500 companies, were from India. And that's because they have also purposefully invested in knowledge-based products. So we can also do, because we also have this kind of input and support coming, like every year 30,000, more than 30,000 IT graduates are coming in the market. And if we talk about their quality, like fine, but if we give them some environment, conducive environment, then they can turn that into a very they could invest in the service sector, and we can turn it into gold. That's very possible. So now I think it's Zamir Assadi have also mentioned that there were pressures on us when countries were asking us to do more and do more. Now is the time we must do ourselves. I mean, nobody is limiting us or controlling us to connect with other countries, to talk to other countries, to establish collaborations. Last week, I was attending a session in Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, and there was a Chinese professor and director of Pakistan China Study Center in Fudan University, Mr. Zhang Yijin. And he said that Pakistan is so lucky, in a sense, that two big powers, two big countries are historically on their sides. One is United States of America and the other is China. Both the countries want that Pakistan should grow, and never China has complained that when Pakistan is talking to United States of America, and never United States have complained when China is talking to Pakistan. So what is this mindset when we think of when we are overburdened with these thoughts of our own, that if we talk to China, the United States would be angry with us, and if we talk to United States, maybe China would not like it. No, that's not how international relationship goes. International relations goes. I mean, we are lucky that both the powers, they're reaching out to us. They want us to grow. So often we think in that sense that we have so many adversaries, we have so many enemies, but there is no limitation, there is no control on things that we can do our own self, things that we can do by our own selves. We can elevate our human capital. It doesn't need the help of external countries. I mean, it doesn't need any significant amount of money to be poured into elevating the human capital. We have this infrastructure. We can do it by, good restructuring and designing, redesigning, and we can. It's very much possible. So now with these comments, if we have, I think we don't have Usman Zulfiqar Ali. And I think now I would open the floor for a question answer session here, because we are already getting late. And you can also, anyone who has a question, you can drop it in the chat box, and you can also open your mic. You can ask the question, and we would try to answer them.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I had a
Please go ahead
question.
with your question.
What steps are being taken to ensure transparency, accountability, and good governance in the execution and management of CPEC projects, promoting public trust and confidence in the economic development process? Thank you.
And to whom your question is directed?
Sir, to the speakers, you and Sir Musawir.
Okay. I would try to answer the question of transparency. Actually, yesterday we were also talking about it, and one speaker mentioned that if we're going ahead with those special economic zones, and there could be a problem of conflict resolution if a foreign investor has any conflicting situation or any problem, where it would go. Where is it possible that our own judiciary system would handle that conflict, or we have to look at alternate or evolves or do some more policy making thing and bring in commercialized courts? So that's very much in talk. That's very much important, that we need to sync our system according to the desired need of what special economic zones can do for us, and what are the problems that could emerge out of such situations. So we need to foresee that. And existing, you mentioned transparency, caption it with the governance system. That's the problem. Not only the problem of Pakistan, that had been the problem of every developing country. They have gone through this. They have gone past through this trajectory, and it would happen, any country going through this trajectory. But we literally need to look into those problems, and we should be talking about it. We should have a dialogue, and we should be pinpointing if we see any problems in terms of transparency, and we see any embezzlement or corruption in those projects. We should be vocal about it. We should be talking about it, and there should be such mechanisms that resolve those conflicting situation if it arises. That is my take. If anyone else want to add into it, I can take the comment.
I would like to just add a few points on this question. I think this was a very good question asked by him. That was about transparency in the projects of the CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So, I mean, I would like to first of all say that this project is initiated or funded by China. And I think I haven't heard about anything that China raised concerns regarding corruption in these projects. I mean, I haven't heard anything like that before. That if China, I mean, yes, Chinese were not happy because of our maybe our behavior towards the CPEC. There was some issues in the last government and maybe before that the work of CPEC was very slow, or maybe there are some other reasons. But I haven't heard anything that China said that there are some these kind of issues. So I would say that. As you rightly mentioned, that as far as developing countries are concerned, these things exist. But I think this is not the sole project of Pakistan. China is a stakeholder, and China is an important stakeholder. And if China has not, said anything like that, if China has not talked about it, transparency, corruption, and things like that, I think we should not be, focusing more on this, because if that, yes, that is the issue. The question is rightly, raised. That is the issue, the corruption and all these things. But the point is, Pakistan is not only the stakeholder, but China is also. And if China is not concerned about it, then I think we don't need to worried about its transparency, worried about corruption and all that. There are many allegations all over the world on different people, on different projects, but allegations on someone or something or any project doesn't mean that that thing really exists. Yes, but the point is, if such thing happens in future, or God forbid, what will be the response, and how strong is our judicial system? Yes, this could be a question. But I think we need to focus more on economic growth and how we can make it workable and how it is beneficial for the people, for Pakistani people. I think that is more important. So these are just a few of, this is just my opinion. Maybe you can agree or you cannot agree, but this is how I think. So do we have any other question?